Couples tell me all the time that they want more closeness, less conflict, more connection, more intimacy. But when an opportunity for real change appears, a workshop, an intensive, structured help, they hesitate. And it's not because they don't care. It's because intimacy and change are frightening. Not divorce, not each other, change. Change feels dangerous. Jane came into my office exhausted. She said, I feel intimidated bringing anything up. The moment I express hurt, he shuts down. When I met her partner, something became clear. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't dismissive on purpose. After arguments, he would say, I don't know why I react that way. I just feel overwhelmed. He was flooded. They weren't broken. They were caught in a nervous system pattern using adaptations they learned in childhood when vulnerability didn't feel safe. I suggested they attend my workshop, not because they were failing, but because they needed structure. They needed tools, a way to slow down and regulate in real time. They were interested, but they never came. It was always the kids, work, timing, and these are all valued excuses. And the pressures are real, but underneath them was something deeper. If they came, things would shift. Jane might have to speak directly instead of hinting. Her partner might have to stay present when uncomfortable. Both might have to give up the safety of blaming each other. That is frightening. Why is change so hard for us? Because change destabilizes identity. Even painful patterns become familiar. You know how the fight goes. You know who escalates. You know who withdraws. You know how long the silence lasts. It hurts, but it's predictable, and the nervous system prefers predictable pain over unpredictable growth. Because if the pattern changes, roles change. If roles change, identity shifts. And identity shifts require you to face parts of yourself you've avoided. It's easier to stay with the devil you know. Then there's another kind of couple. No screaming, no crisis, no dramatic betrayal, just quiet distance. One partner says softly, I feel alone. The other says, we don't fight. What's the problem? They're functional, but they're not intimate. When I suggest structured work, they often say, we're not bad, or maybe later, and it feels dramatic. But if they slow down long enough to look honestly, they might feel grief. Grief for years of emotional distance. Grief for conversations never had. Grief for the intimacy they assumed would happen naturally. Grief is harder to face than irritation, so they stay busy. Here's the deeper layer. Intimacy is exposure. To be intimate means I let you see my insecurity. I tell you what I need. I risk you not responding. For many people, especially those whose early experiences taught them that vulnerability led to criticism or rejection, closeness doesn't feel safe. It feels dangerous. Instead of saying, I'm afraid you don't choose me, we say, you never listen. Instead of saying, I feel small, we say, you're selfish. Conflict protects us from exposure. Distance protects us from disappointment. Structured relationship work removes those protections. That's why people are afraid to attend a workshop. Not because they don't care. They care deeply because it asks them to lower the armor. Growth requires the death of something. The old pattern, the old story, the old protection, even if that protection is hurting you. And we cling to what's familiar. Predictable pain feels safer than unpredictable growth. If you feel resistance when you think about investing in your relationship, instead of asking whether it's necessary, ask yourself what you're protecting. Because sometimes what we're protecting is exactly what's keeping us stuck. The strongest couples are not the ones without fear. They're the ones who move towards growth anyway. If you're ready to move, information about my upcoming workshop is below.